first weekend in August is a long weekend here in beautiful British Columbia, and we decided to spend it in the mountains, camping and backpacking in an area we hadn't explored yet. So we filled our bags full, as usual, and weighed them to see just how much we'd be carrying.
35.1.
45.4.
The Sea to Sky Highway is a breathtaking drive with ocean and mountain views. It takes you from Vancouver up to Whistler and into the mountains of Pemberton. From there, we drove up a Forest Service road as far as we could to the Phelix Creek Trailhead, where we would start our hike to the Brian Waddington Hut.
Danielle's getting ready, but what's the matter?
Yeah, there's so many bugs. Can't see on YouTube. They're like swarming us.
I don't even you can see how many bugs there are, but there's a lot. Bugs.
Locked and loaded. So where are we going?
Brian Waddington Hut. What time are we starting here? Almost 10 to 5.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a late start today than we usually do, but we're just...
Yeah, hopefully a couple hours up. We'll be there in time for sunset and make a little dinner by the lake.
Our plan was to hike to the Brian Waddington Hut and camp on the second lake located just past it, spending 3 nights and 4 days exploring the area.
Another bush hike. It's gonna be a good one.
Climbing up the rock field. In the mosquitos.
And the mosquitoes. About an hour in, 56 minutes.
Yeah.
2.38 kilometers.
Mimi's having some water. I think we're about halfway there.
The 4-kilometer hike up wasn't too difficult, with only about a 500-meter gain in elevation, mostly done during the last half of the trail. It's a very beautiful hike through the forest with some boulder and creek crossings.
I feel like I'm top heavy, just gonna fall over.
Sun's starting to set. About an hour and a half in, 3.5 kilometers in. He's sweaty and buggy, but beautiful.
We made it to the first lake. Well, how long?
Just over, it's like 3.66K from the truck in an hour and 40 minutes.
That's good. People were saying it took them over 2 hours, an hour and 40 minutes down. We did okay even though we were going down slow.
I think people said 2 hours to the cabin, but...
What were you saying? That you love me so much and you can't wait to cuddle and smooch me at the campsite?
Yeah, something along those lines. Maybe we'll camp at the first lake today, and then we'll head to the second tomorrow, but oh, look how beautiful this is.
Okay. Wow, look at all the bugs, but look at how pretty it is. There's the cabin.
Yeah, it's the cabin.
This is really pretty.
Yeah. So an hour and 45 with a couple little breaks up to the lake, the main lake.
Wow.
Maybe another 10 or 15 minutes at the far end there. And so about we got there. Yeah, about 2 hours to get to the cabin. There she's the view.
We made it. Whew. Bugs. Lots of bugs.
We're headed to the second lake because there ain't no one there. And that's what we want. Peace and quiet and loving. Right through the slop.
Look at my boots.
All of our feet, including Mimi's little chicken legs, got covered in mud on the wet trail between the hut and the second lake.
We're at about, what is that? Almost just over 5.5 kilometers to 2 hours, 20 minutes to the second lake. Looks pretty rocky here though, so hopefully we can find a spot to camp. Camp, night 1. Mimi's real happy. Danielle's in the tent of love.
There's so many mosquitoes on the outside of the tent.
We're gonna go have some dinner and go for a swim.
We set up camp and couldn't resist an evening dip in the crystal clear cold waters of our own private lake.
It's really cold.
The next morning, we made the call to stay put for the weekend rather than camp at different locations, since others were joining us and we liked our little spot.
Yeah, so this is our little tent for the camping spot for the weekend, but we got our own private lake and a nice little swimming hole, so I think we're gonna stay. The wind's picked up a bit, kills the bugs.
Sort of, yeah. Look at this. We left our pants out. Luckily, we were thinking about bears. What was it? Bears, mice, and birds. About the food. So Zach climbed way over there last night and put our backpacks and our food out on the island, thinking there's no mice that will get to that, but maybe birds will, but bears won't. It's away from our tent. Usually we don't worry about bears, but there's a warning for grizzlies in this area. We left our pants just to dry on the tree here. Look what happened. These are the only pants I brought on this trip. And the backs of them, both the legs, it's like Swiss cheese. Apparently some kind of animal likes Lululemon pants for bedding.
In the morning by the lake. Bugs are still really bad. But it's not a bad spot for breakfast. And the oatmeal. And get eaten by bugs. Super fun.
We're going to do a little hike. Well, not so little. Up to another lake that's kind of maybe more in the Alpine. How are you doing?
Buggy.
What's morale at right now?
Morale's pretty good though. I'd say an 8 out of 10.
Mimi's already on her way. She's realized that when she moves, there's a little bit less back flies. It's really beautiful, but there's so many bugs.
So we're gonna attempt to go up through this gully here. There's a lake up top over here. It's pretty steep and bushy up through there, but that's what we're gonna do. Me and the old Daninator and Memester. Let's go. Pretty much reached the top. We're about 2,000 meters up. Takes about an hour. Should be cresting to one of the first little lakes up here in a second. But she was a slug. From the lake floor to here, about 300 meters elevation. Here she is.
We were hoping the bugs wouldn't be as bad in the Alpine, but as you can see from the holes in Danielle's legs, they weren't any better the higher we got up. Danielle also developed some very nasty blisters while hiking up from the trunk. Man, she really gets the worst of it sometimes.
Adventure dog.
We decided to take an alternate route back down the mountain by making our own path, proving a little more challenging than we thought it would be.
We're gonna try and go down in through here. So we kind of decided to take the bushwhacking trail. Danielle and her blisters are holding up. Little Mimi's disappears inside this thick brush, but there's the lake. Not too far off. I think we're sitting at like 1,850 meters, so we've got another about 100 meters to go and we're at the lake. 100 meter elevation. We're at the lake, but oh, she's as you can see, she's pretty dense. This is chest deep.
Our day ended with another cool dip in our campsite lake. Danielle got a chance to soak her blisters in the cool water, and we even got to enjoy a bottle of wine that I hauled up from home.
Our friends Naomi and Miles joined us as Naomi had never backpacked before and it was on her bucket list. We decided to take them up Mount Gandalf, with its peak sitting at almost 2,400 meters.
Only about 40 minutes in. I think we're sitting at about 1950 in elevation. Got to go to like 2450, 25. Long ways to go. This is where we're going now. Up Gandalf. Predicting, say 45 minutes to get to the top. That's my prediction.
The hike was steep and relatively challenging. We even ran into some lingering snow. The views from the peak were well worth the scramble to the top, and we were happy we pushed ourselves to do it.
Another great adventure. Yay! We're done. We're done. Yay! Back of the truck. 3 days. Long weekend fun. Mimi's attitude. 3 nights.
4 days.
4 days. Hooey. Good one.